Hi Libras, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Tarot. Nice to meet you. Today we are going to do your October predictions and reading. So, what we have here is your energy for October, and then we're going to pull separate cards for every area of your life to see what October holds for you, and then we'll go into October advice. So, let's see what we have for the general energy of October. We have the Mountain. We have Co-create, Happiness, the Great Gathering, and Clover. So right off the bat, I have a very strong vibe of creativity. I think that creativity is going to be very rich for you in October, Libras. I also feel like for some of you guys, might be some outdoor excursions. I definitely see some outdoor trips, maybe with some really close friends. For some of you guys, it looks like you might be specifically visiting some kind of mountain or some kind of retreat is what I'm hearing. And I know that seems a little obvious from this mountain card, but I also really notice how the Great Gathering here also comes up to a mountain, which leads up here. So I definitely feel like there's a synchronicity there that is making itself apparent. With this Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits Soul Tribe. This could also be pointing to a metaphorical gathering. Maybe some of you guys are going to be holding some kind of social event or attending a social event where you're going to meet someone part of your soul tribe. I definitely feel like the biggest message here, though, is that in October there's going to be definitely a major trip happening for some of you guys. I also get the feeling that the general vibe of October is going to be very lighthearted, pretty joyful, which is great for you guys. Looks like October is just going to be a light and fun month with lots of creativity, lots of abundance in the positive emotions. I definitely feel some celebrations, and the feeling of gathering in a strong social month is very apparent here as well. I think that some of you guys are going to be in a very good place to be manifesting, even if you're not aware of it. I think that that's something that you're still going to be doing subconsciously. For some of you, I am feeling specifically that October is going to be a time of things coming to a head for some of you. Maybe a major event is going to be hitting its peak in October. In general, I feel like October is going to be like the height of energetic vibration for you. Oh, and of course, I didn't even think about this at the beginning, but it just came out to me now. It is Libra season, right, you guys? So I think that this is also just having a very clear message here that it's just reaffirming, yeah, it's Libra season. And that doesn't always mean whenever it's a certain zodiac sign season that, things are necessarily going to work in their favor just because of that. But I feel like this particular October is going to be a very high Libra season for you, so to speak. I'm feeling definitely lots of lush birthday celebrations, just a lot of high feelings. Yes, in general, the biggest emotion I'm getting here is lots of joy and lots of creativity. I do want to look at Clover in the guidebook for you. The appearance of clover in late spring is sudden and enthusiastic, filling a field with what can be seen Well, what can seem like a blink of an eye, a core food source for herbivores and pollinators alike. It is a plant of provision and giving. Creativity and abundance are all around you, endless and filled with the occasional lucky break of the four-leaf variety. It's easy to get carried away with its exciting bounty of energy, but don't rush into it. Use your judgment to know where to stop. Exactly like I said, lots of creativity, joy, just really happy feelings all around already for October. So we are going to go ahead and pull some cards for every area of your life in October, Leos. Okay, first up on the list, we have health. So, Spirit, what is in store for my Libra's health in October? We have this one just wanting to come out. We see number 10, Fortune. Yeah, definitely seems like you guys are generally going to be in pretty good health in October. I feel like, in particular, since you guys are going to be having so many joyful experiences, that vibration in particular is going to keep you in a pretty good physical space in October as well. There's going to feel like there is a lot of energy just welling up inside of you from all the good feelings I feel. I also feel like October is a good time to just be making sure that your food diet is just looking healthy. Lots of fruits and vegetables. I know that's a general rule of thumb for everyone, but I feel like for some reason there's a message here in October to just pay extra attention to that. Maybe it's just to help you kind of maximize your enjoyment in October and making sure you don't keep sick, but definitely seeing a message for just being mindful of keeping up your fruits and veggies in particular. So what is our Libra's social life looking like in October, Spirit? Ooh, this one's hopping out. We have the Two of Wands. Your social life might be pretty full in October, Libra, which makes sense, not just with your personality, but since it's also Libra season and likely a lot of your birthdays, looks like you're going to have a little bit of trouble balancing all of these social occasions. So you might have to be making some decisions and priorities on everything you want to fit in. Maybe there's some things that can be put off to next month. So definitely keep in mind about the social occasions that you really want to go to and or have. But looks like a full social calendar for you, Libras, in October. What is Libra's creativity looking like in October, Spirit? We have, that is so funny, this fell out, and then I thought it was a bit of a red herring, and I just shuffled and fell out again. So it looks like that is what we're getting. That is the Five of Lollipops or the Five of Wands. Interesting. Definitely looks like a busy month for creativity, Libra. I think that you're going to be getting a lot of ideas. Some of you guys in particular might be involved in some kind of creative contest or big creative event that you're kind of taking all the stops out for. I think that you're going to be very hard at work on your creative projects in October. And it's definitely going to be very bustling. I also almost feel like I'm hearing the phrase everybody wants a piece, which is probably because your creativity is going to be so abundant in October, Libras. So be mindful of that, be mindful of protecting your energies. But it looks like creativity is very full, very busy, and it's definitely going to involve more than just you in October. Spirit, what is my Libra's finances looking like in October? We have the Three of Cups or Potions. Ooh, and the Three of Swords in reverse. Interesting. So already off the bat, this double three synchronicity really signals to me that there's going to be, only you know what this really means, but it looks like finances is going to look like a bit of a group activity in October. Libras. Do you have family members or friends or coworkers that are involved in some kind of financial project with you? Either way, it looks like, ooh, for some of you guys, I'm getting the feeling that you're gonna be, some of you guys are celebrating finances in October, while on the flip side, some of you guys are kind of struggling with finances in October. And I'm not saying that covers the full spectrum. I'm saying it's looking like a bit of a one or the other situation in October, Libras. So I'm also hearing the message that some of you guys might be experiencing finances from different sources in October. This is another message I'm getting. The general message for most of you guys, though, is I think that there is a message here to watch out for excessive spending in October, specifically to do with celebrations. So you guys might be having a lot of social activities and maybe a lot of birthday parties, a lot of outings. And there is a message here to watch out for excessive spending, lest you find yourself broke at the end of October. It's definitely the main vibe that I'm getting now that I've kind of worked through some of that. But I think that especially with that kind of jumble at first, there is also a message here to that finances is going to be very fast moving in October, very free flowing, so to speak. So just keep an eye on where that flow is going. What does career look like for my Libras in October, Spirit? And career doesn't have to be your job. It can also be your studies or school or your main hobbies. But what does career look like? We have the Knight of Wands. I get the feeling that a lot of you guys, Libras, are going to be getting some good ideas for your career in October. Maybe that means having some new ideas at work or having new ideas for side hustles is what I'm hearing in October. But getting inspiration is the big message that I'm hearing here. And just receiving a lot of good ideas from Spirit and for your creativity that will benefit your career house. Which definitely makes sense at what we've mentioned so far, with a lot of the creative placements we've seen already come out in your general energy of October. It definitely looks like to me that that is going to directly affect your career pursuits, my Libras. And this last part is optional, so it only applies to those of you who feel called to listen to it, but we're going to pull a card to see what my Libra's romances are going to look like in October. Ooh, we have the Ace of Pentacles. It looks to me like a lot of you guys are going to be very in control of your romantic life in October, Libras. Maybe that's kind of how your relationships and or flirtationships or current relationship is like already, but definitely looks like you're going to be exercising quite a bit of control, not in the toxic sense or in the negative sense, but looks like you guys are going to have like a really strong grasp on things. I think that you're going to be very clear on where things stand for you in your romantic pursuits. Kind of like you're also going to know what to say and what you want next from your relationships in October. But another word I'm hearing is that they're going to be very tangible for you in October. So maybe some of them are, so to speak, ripe for the plucking. So some of them are coming to full fruition. Maybe there is for some of you guys, a romantic pursuit that has been kind of in the works, like you guys have been talking for months now, and October is the perfect time for you guys to move on to the next step, is also the idea that I'm getting. So that's exciting. Looks like you're gonna have a pretty fun October so far, Libras. We're gonna move on to our advice for making the most of October. And what we'll do in particular is that we are going to start with a few FAQs is what I like to call them, kind of like main points for your advice. And then we are going to just open the floor to just open messages and advice from Spirit on how to make the most of October. So first we will start with Spirit. What is a challenge that Libras are going to be facing in October? What is a challenge that my Libras will be facing in October? Ooh, we have the King of Wands. So right off the bat, I am actually hearing that some of you guys might be cautioned to not be a little too excess in the celebrations. I'm hearing a lot of like life of the party, but being a little getting a little carried away with it. So while it looks like October is going to have a lot of celebrations and a lot of fun for you, Libras, definitely make sure that things don't go too far, that you don't burn yourself out, or you don't get a little too carried away in the moment. I definitely get the impression in this imagery that this crow is almost like Spirit keeping an eye on you and saying like, look, I want you to have fun, but make sure that you stay safe and that you know what you're doing and that you still have fun, but don't get too crazy with it, is a challenge I am seeing for October for you, Libras. And Spirit, what is something my Libras should be mindful of in October? Something Libras should be mindful of in October. Oops. I want to say we've got these two coming out for that. So we have the Star in reverse and the Ten of Pentacles. For some of you, I'm hearing a specific phrase to be mindful of some pessimism in your practical affairs. Yes, I'm hearing for some of you guys to watch out for some pessimism for the long-term well-being of your practical affairs, such as your wealth, or such as maybe some career pursuits some of you guys have been taking. Maybe there might be a setback in an area of your life in October, although overall it's going to be quite joyful and quite happy, there might be a setback that happens that might make you feel some kind of way and make you not as optimistic for your future. So just be mindful of that, especially because if that's something that you end up facing, then I definitely feel like it's connected to your challenge here, where you might cope with that in some partially unhealthy ways. Definitely make sure that whenever you guys are going out and partying, that it is on happy terms and for good intentions, and not as a coping mechanism, so to speak. So definitely be mindful of your emotional and mental state in terms of how you're viewing things for you long term, Libras. Know that everything is going to be okay. And it's okay to be upset, but definitely don't let it affect your outlook on things for the long term. And finally, for this little kickoff section, we're going to see, Spirit, what do you advise my Libras to do for self-care in October? Ooh, we got one coming out. They advise you to flow like water. And one more, to make a vision board. Yeah, so first of all, making a vision board, I think this is playing exactly off of this watching out for too much pessimism. Libra, if you do experience a setback, or you're just kind of feeling a little negative about things in general, I think making a vision board would be something that would really help you reignite that hope for the future and what you want to manifest next. I think that this flow like water has a few different messages. One, connecting to this vision board, I think that it is a message for you to remember to be flexible and know that nothing is set in stone, and that things change all the time, for sometimes for the worse, but ultimately for the better in the long run. And you're not always in control of everything. Things might shift around you, and that's okay. And I think that remembering just that in itself and taking some pressure off of yourself would be helpful for you. I think that the second message here is that, as I mentioned in the beginning, I saw some outdoor retreats for you guys. Maybe going out in nature and visiting like a lake or the beach or something to do with water would be very beneficial for you in October for your self-care. I think that for some of you too, even making a vision board to visit a body of water or a place filled with water that you've always wanted to see would be something that is very fun for you. Even when we're not experiencing things on our vision board right this moment, planning them and imagining and seeing what kind of future we want to craft for ourselves is a very enlightening and happy activity in general. So I definitely feel like that is an advice that you're receiving from Spirit here. There is a synchronicity of double sixes here as well, with this 24 reducing to 6 and this 33 also reducing to 6. I think that by doing some of these activities, it'll really help you rebalance yourself and feel more in harmony with your truer self when you're feeling low or negative in October, Libras. Okay, so now we are going to just open the floor for messages from Spirit on how you can make the most of October, Libras. Spirit, how can my Libras make the most of October? What advice do you have for them? We have one coming out. Ooh, and that ended up being 2. And we'll pull a couple more. We have the 3. Ooh, we have one flying out, and that is 4. So we've got the Ten of Swords, the King of Cups, the King of Pentacles in reverse, and the Six of Cups. Okay, Libras. So here is the picture that I am getting. In October, Spirit is saying that you're going to benefit the most from really paying attention to your most positive emotions, not in the way that you should pay attention only to those, but really make the most of counting your blessings and being appreciative and happy for everything happening around you. Because I think that there is another indication here that for some of you, there might be something of a financial or setback in terms of your practical matters. So it could be bills have a setback. It could be some of your plans have a setback. Think of things that are tangible and considered practical matters. And some of that might have a setback. And for some of you, might trigger a negative emotional reaction in the way that you might find yourself feeling quite scarce, or like you might need to hoard something, or for some of you just a little bit greedier than normal. But to counteract that, I think that there's a message here to really move your headspace to your blessings and everything you do have. And for that, I'm getting the message here to remind you also of all of the people you have around you that really love you and really care for you, and that is much more important than any setback that you're going to experience in October. And I think that remembering that is really going to help you kind of release some of those negative responses you might feel off the bat. I'm hearing for some of you that something you can do to make the most of October is also to pay attention to anything you need to do to make your inner child feel joyful. So maybe you reconnect with some games you played when you were younger, or anything that elicits like really happy feelings of nostalgia. I'm getting just the words of like reconnecting with joyful activities that you did growing up. Reconnect not only with things that make your inner child happy, but also reconnect with things that you can bring into your present life now that would bring more joy to you. I'm hearing in particular things that also make you feel very free and very uplifted. Yes, I'm definitely very much hearing a strong message to focus on activities that make you feel in particular a lot of joy. And sometimes that is different from feelings of happiness in the way that a lot of things can make us happy or give us short-term happiness in the moment. Like, for example, eating ice cream is pretty nice when you're eating ice cream and maybe for a little bit afterwards, but may not have some long-term lasting effects on our happiness or really give us like a joy that we carry with us for a long time. Some of you, maybe it's just an example, but really look for those kinds of activities, ones that really fill your cup on a soul level and that you can kind of keep in your pocket and take with you when you want to visualize something that makes you happy or makes you feel uplifted. I think that this is a very strong month for you to make leaps and strides, so to speak, in discovering things that are going to make you even happier on a very deep level. I'm getting a very strong emphasis on, like I mentioned, a soul level of joy. Things that are really going to make your heart sing and things that are going to have a lasting positive emotional effect on you. I think there is another message as well, that as you do this, you're going to find that any hardships you're going through and any negative thoughts you might be experiencing as a response to something unpleasant that happens, it's going to be a lot easier for you to shake that off and leave that behind you as you focus on the blessings you have and things that make you happy. And there is one more message here on definitely. I'm hearing a really strong advice now to those of you who may not already have plans to go and do some sort of outdoor retreat or outdoor excursion. I think that there is a strong message here that a trip somewhere outdoors will be a very good and advised plan of action for you in October, Libras. So finally, I am going to pull you some messages of encouragement from Spirit to leave you with. Spirit, before we go, what messages of encouragement and love do you have for my lovely Libras to bring into October? Ooh, we have one that's kind of pulling out. We have, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. Yeah, so staying in that high mindset, reminding yourself of all that you have going for you, and that the universe loves you, spirit loves you, and miracles can happen all the time. We have, when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. I think that can definitely speak for itself on just letting go of the things that are not in our control and just letting them be and giving space for spirit to handle all of the things that we cannot control ourselves. Ooh, we have oneness is my true nature. I'm getting a message here that some of those outdoor excursions or outdoor trips that I was just mentioning is going to help you connect with this oneness, and particular feel one not just with yourself but with nature and with everything that is. I think that it is going to be an opportunity for you to just feel very connected with everything. I think that's one of the reasons why Spirit is really calling you to do that in October. But yeah, I think that we are going to leave you with these messages, Libras. Thank you so much for coming to my channel and giving me the opportunity to read for you. I hope you're going to have a wonderful October, and I will see you in the next one. If you feel called to, please feel free to leave a like or subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. I will see you in the next one. Bye.